Good morning, Boker Tov. It is wonderful to be here with you this morning. It's good to see everybody coming in on this beautiful Torah Thursday morning. So please do come in and share your greeting so that we know that we're here together. But we can feel each other's presence this way. And I hope that's been a good week for you so far as we get closer and closer to this wonderful Shabbat Acharei Mot Kadoshim. We looked at Parashat Acharei Mot on Monday, and we'll look a bit at Kadoshim today. As we say, Boker Tov, welcome to Boker Tov from Temple Sinai. Temple Sinai Congregation of Toronto's daily opportunity to connect, to reflect, and to remember. Good morning, Joni. Good morning, Annette and Sulang and Seymour, and to everyone who's here with us this morning, as whether you're with us here on Zoom or joining us on YouTube and Zoom, give us a message, please, so that we can feel each other's presence. Please feel free to subscribe or like on YouTube so that you can find us easily again and others can find us as well. Good morning, Gloria. And to each of you as we start off this day, and Anne and Anita as well. Well, let's begin as we do with gratitude each day. For the miracle of the physical functioning of our bodies. The third and fourth lines of the Hebrew translated quite literally mean tubes and other tubes within our body, and it is known before God's presence that if one of them opens or that one of them closes at a time when they should be otherwise, we cannot continue to stand. The balance and the ability of our bodies to function is itself miraculous and a blessing. And so please join us today in the Hebrew and the English. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et adam bechokma, uvravo nekavim nekavim, chalulim chalulim, galui v'yadua lifnei chisech vodecha, sheim yipatech echad mehem, o yisatem echad mehem, אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה, אדוני, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. Let's join together, la'asok b'divrei Torah, which literally means to do business in the words of Torah. It isn't just that we should do it in a light way, the way business is, but just like we work hard to sustain ourselves physically, we should work hard to sustain ourselves spiritually as well through interaction with Torah and through living Torah. Please join me in these words of blessing and commitment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah, v'arev na Adonai Eloheinu et divrei Toratcha b'finu, ובפי עמך בית ישראל, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו, וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה, אדוני, המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור. These are the obligations whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud Avayim, to honor fathers and mothers. Ugmilut Chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness. Bashkamat Bet Midrash Shacharit V'Arvit, to attend the house of study morning and evening. V'Achnasat Ochim, to welcome the stranger. Uviku Cholim, to visit the sick. V'hachnasat kala, to provide for brides and grooms. Ulvayat hamed, to keep faith with the dead. V'yun tefillah, to pray with sincerity. V'hava'at shalom ben adam l'chavero, to make peace when there is strife. V'tamud Torah keneged kulam, and the study of Torah is equal to them all. Well, let's continue this morning, joining in our Birchot HaShachar, our morning blessings that at the beginning and end acknowledge the limits on our energy, of us using energy each day to awaken and to be alert as we go about our day and as we give our all. And we do so created in God's image with a freedom to choose and to choose to make commitments, second, third, and fourth blessings of great significance. So please join me. We'll do the first blessing, part in Hebrew, part in English. Second one entirely in Hebrew, and we'll be alternating with the exception of the prayer Matir Asurim, to release the captive, which in painful recognition of the ongoing captivity of the hostages held in Gaza by Hamas and their criminal allies, and an ongoing daily crime against humanity. We'll recite that blessing in both ways. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. You have given the rooster the natural wisdom to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzalmenu kidmutenu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. You have given me free will. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you have helped me provide for my needs. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you clothe the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim, and half English. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you release those who are held captive. English. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you help those who are bowed to stand straight. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, roka haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you guide each person's steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael begvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you crown Israel with glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten le'yaef koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir sheina me'enai, u'numa me'afapai. You remove sleep from my eyes and weariness from my eyelids. Not entirely removing weariness. Still don't always get through all of the blessings in the way that I plan to and intend to, but it's wonderful to get through them with you and for us to have the chance together to make this commitment of time to God and to ourselves and to our people. And in doing so, to affirm our connection to each other and to the one who is in all places. Please join me in reciting Shema together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavecha, ubechol nafshecha, ubechol meodecha. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף בתיר תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטעו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Well, being a Thursday morning, I would like us, as we're going to take some time to consider this week's parasha, Torah portion. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a double parasha. This week, we see both Parashat Kedoshim, and before that, Parashat Acharei Mot. On Monday, we learned from Parashat Acharei Mot. And today, probably the most famous and consequential Torah portion in the book of Leviticus, although all of them, of course, have on one level equal holiness, but the echoes of this week's Torah portion are quite powerful. But I want to make sure we get two different aspects of that echoing. Parashat Kedoshim begins, with the holiness code, as it's known, in the middle of the book of Leviticus. And at the beginning, very, very famous words. God spoke to Moses saying, the Eternal spoke to Moses saying, speak to the whole Israelite community, the whole congregation of the children of Israel, and say to them, Kedoshim tiyu, you shall be holy, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem. You shall be holy, for I, the eternal, your God, am holy. Now, first of all, as we notice this, it doesn't say you're holy because I'm holy. It says you shall be holy. And these words seem to be very much, as the next verse shows, about behavior. You shall each revere your mother and father and observe my Shabbat, etc. So these words already are words that tell us of the holiness of our lives as Jews, and certainly that's of immense significance. And again, what does it mean to be holy? Well, we find some of Torah's unquestionably most famous words in verse 18 of chapter 19. You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against members of your people. It says literally members of your people. And then it says, Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha ani Adonai. Love your fellow, and they put in parentheses, Israelite as yourself. I am the eternal. So now it does in other places in this same Torah portion talk about loving the stranger, loving the one who is not a member of your people. But it is here, as understood in our tradition, somewhat insular. This very famous commandment, you shall love your neighbor as yourself, does seem to assume in Torah terms that your neighbor is your fellow Israelite. Now, we could say that it's modern commentators who try to make this a more general commandment, but I don't think that would be honest or true. There's no question there's a powerful particularism to this very famous Torah portion. And our ancestors who created our cycle of readings well over, 1,500 and more years ago, chose a prophetic passage to be read along with this week's Torah portion. A week's Torah portion that could be, in my opinion, quite clearly mistakenly read to think because we have responsibilities of living a holy life, that somehow makes us different or, God forbid, superior to other of God's children, to other human beings. How do we know that our ancestors did not read it this way? Well, we know because here is the passage from the book of Amos, that was chosen to be the Haftarah for Parashat Kedoshim. Halo chivnei chushiyim atem li bnei Yisrael. To me, O Israelites, O children of Israel, you are just like the Cushites, an African people, declares the Eternal. True, I brought up Israel from the land of Egypt, but also the Philistines from Kaftor and the Arameans from Kir. Behold, my sovereign God is keeping an eye on the sinful kingdom. I will wipe it off the face of the earth, but I will not wholly wipe out the house of Jacob, declares God. For I will give the order and shake the house of Israel through all the nations, as one shakes sand in a sieve, and not a pebble shall fall to the ground. There is a statement here that we have a story, just like other peoples have a story. And at the same time, through the covenant, through our commitments and actions, we have a relationship with the divine that is powerful and that defines our people and us. It does, as is implied in the Haftarah, it doesn't in any way at any point in this Torah portion say, and no one else has a story, and no one else has a specific relationship with the divine, but instead points out our relationship and the responsibilities that it creates for us, as mentioned in Torah. We have many different responsibilities, different places in the Jewish world, and in the Jewish state, still under siege for closing in on 600 days, and hostages still held all that time. People must put on the madim, must put on the uniform, and must continue in this horrific ongoing war to risk their lives to secure the state of Israel and all of its citizens. And in doing so, while some project it otherwise, providing additional safety and protection for the Jewish people worldwide. And so we join in our prayer for the soldiers of the IDF, followed by our prayer for those in need of healing. Please join me. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל ושאר מגיני עמנו, העומדים על משמרתם. ישמרם הקדוש ברוך הוא, ויצילם מכל צרה וצוקה, מכל נגע ומחלה, וישלח ברכה בכל מעשה ידיהם. ויקוים בהם הכתוב, וכיתתו חרבותיהם לעתים, וחניתותיהם למזמרות, לא יישאו גואל חרב, לא ימדון עוד מלחמה, וישבו איש תחת גפנו ותחת תאנתו, ואין מחריד ונאמר, Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the IDF and all who stand on guard for us. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury, and illness. May all of their actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn war no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree with none to make them afraid, and together we say, Amen. Let us continue with our prayer for those in need of strength and healing, for those right here in our family, circle of friends, and community who might be ill or unwell, isolated, or injured. And likewise, all those near and far in need of that healing, and especially those that are forcibly isolated, the hostages who continue to be held. We stand with them and their families. And as we turn to this prayer of Refuah, asking for strength and healing for those names that have been given to me and given to Temple, for those names that have been placed in the chat in this and other services, not just for the name, of course, but for each of those human beings walking their path. May they know they are not alone as we join in these words. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו, להחלימם ולרפאותם, Vishlach lanu mehera, refuah shlema, v'ateret shalom, v'nomar amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength. Reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and let us say together, amen. And so we now have had the opportunity, thank goodness, to connect and reflect. And so now it is time to remember, recalling those who died in recent days and weeks, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. During the past 30 days, the period of Shloshim, we extend our condolences to the families of Nora Boyd, Irving Feldman, Judy Gert, Joan Turner. And we also remember all victims of war and terror, including those whose lives have been sacrificed in this ongoing war as it drags on in Israel. Galeb al-Nasasra, Asaf Kafri, Barak Yisrael Sagan, Ido Voloch, Noam Ravid, Hillel Ovadia, Ido Ben Tzvi, Neta Yitzchak Kahana, Yali Saror. And on Yahrzeit, on this day, on the anniversary of their deaths, on this 10th day of Iyar, the 8th of May, 2025, we honor the life and legacy on Yahrzeit of Edith Bader, Nathan Kaplan, Irene Clarfield, Jack Katzman, and William Bill Simon. Zichronam levacha, may their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn together to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemer rabba, be'alma divarach u'ute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'bizman karev v'imuru, amen. Yehe shmer rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמא דקודשה בריחו. לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה ואמור, אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמור, אמן. עושה שלום במומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמור, אמן. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all who remember. And together we say, amen. Well, Temple is grateful for all of those who have come together, as well as the generosity that has been displayed toward Temple. We're grateful this morning that a contribution has been made to the Louis David Katzman Fund by Anita and Norm Katzman, observing Yahrzeit for Jack Katzman, and for a donation to the Security Campaign by Bevan Bernie Little, observing Yahrzeit for William Simon. Boker Tov